that okay? 2 years, that's okay? Okay. Oh, we are? Okay. I'd like to welcome you to this afternoon's program. Sorry it's taken a little time, a lot of logistics, but I think we have things pretty much in order. I'd like to start out with a word of prayer. Dear Father in heaven, we're so thankful for the privilege we have to come together and share about memories from Gobles. We're thankful that you have led this school for the last 90 years. We ask for your continued guidance in the coming years. Be with us in this program as we share with each other about memories and things that we've done in the past. We pray in your name. Amen. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of a format of what we're going to do. This is still kind of... Okay, I have a short slide presentation. Not going to take more than about 2 minutes or so. I thought I'd share about that. See, I'm old school. New school, everything is technical. You button here and there and there. Well, in my day, if you had a presentation, you put all your slides in the carousel and you show the carousel presentation. The only thing that can go wrong is your battery or the light bulb blew and you replace it and you're set to go. I appreciate, Stan, Derek, and Tom, especially Derek. He spent hours trying to lighten the slide presentation and so forth. Literally, he stayed up at 6 o'clock one night doing that. Because in the old days that wouldn't happen, and I apologize for that, but that's technology. A lot easier with the carousel. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a short slide presentation. And then, how many remember the year 1995? Okay. Well, we got memories of 1995 in a movie. It's a Christmas program. And I don't necessarily need to show the whole thing. If we're getting kind of long, we can kind of cut off. I mean, I just mentioned that because we don't want to be here all night. But anyway, it was kind of a cute program. We see a lot of the kids when they were like this. Okay. Then after that, I've asked Judy, Luana, and Ada to come up and join me. They went to school about the same time. I was going to ask them questions what it was like to be in Gobles at that time, just kind of reflection. Then we have a small musical, and after that we'll line up with the GJA song. So that's more the format. And those that are taking part in the music, I gave you the order that you go, but I'm not going to announce it. You've got a sheet, Lori and Brad are starting out, Lori. Okay. I needed a sheet, so, okay. So then after that, it'll kind of go in order. So without further ado, let's go ahead and show the PowerPoint. That was Pastor Mike McKenzie, and then that's Tom in his younger years, and that's Tom who first came, and I forget, I think it's Craig, I can't remember his last name, and then we had, of course, Dr. and Mrs. McFadden, who supported the school for many years. And then we could forget Don and Edith Cooper, good supporters of our school. The yearbook was dedicated to them. And then Del Lesh, who was school board chairman for years, Pathfinder leader for years. And this was a Christmas or a school program. And that's, that was Jenny in the middle. We can't go back. Okay, that's Bruce. Okay, that's John Rosenberg, Jenny, and Melissa. Now, Bruce, is that you when you were younger? It gets better than that, Bruce. I got another one for you. And that's Jenny. I forgot what, a bunch of labels or something that you guys put on. And was that your 40th, Tom and Renee? I don't remember. Okay. That's Bo and Joey. And that was a talent program. We used to have fun times. That's Heidi and I think that's Jason Sutton, as I recall. Bruce's secret ambition was to be a pastor after Pastor Mike and a garbage collector after his brother. And that's Jenny St. Larson. And these are some that Lori shared with me. Christmas program. They've been very helpful for the school. I'm a school leader. Hannah's graduation in Jackson's from kindergarten. I think that was the last one. Now if we get this working here with a video.
To God, we can
I'm not sure how long it goes, but you could get a gist of what it was like back then. At this time, I'd like to invite Judy, Luana, and Edith up to the front. I think all of you that went to Gobles Junior Academy probably can relate to some of the questions that I'm going to ask them. You've had similar experiences and so forth, but I thought it'd be nice to hear from somebody that was at school back then. Edith, I guess I can start with you. Okay. What years did you attend Gobles Junior Academy?
Long time ago.
Okay.
Well, we moved here in 48, 2 weeks before I was born. And so add another 7 years, and that's when I started. So I'm not real good at math.
Okay, you were here, how many years were you in the
And I've been here all my life.
I mean, the school. You went
at the school, I went through to the 10th, and then I went on up to Cedar Lake.
Okay. Why did your parents move to Gobles in 48?
Well, my brother and I think my sister, they were going to, I believe, a public school in Albion. I get those two mixed up. In Albion. And Mom and Dad wanted them to go to a Christian school, so they found Gobles and moved here to Gobles, and so that's why we're here.
Okay, you'll find that there's a common theme. People move to Gobles because of the school. You'll find that's a common theme. And let me ask a question. How many have moved here because of the academy? Okay. Yeah, I did too. I wanted a Christian education for my kids, so that's the main reason I came to Gobles. I could have had other practices, but that's why I came to Gobles. Okay. What did your parents do? What did your parents and you do to raise money to attend Gobles Junior Academy?
Well, Mom and Dad had a garden, and we would peddle the produce from the garden to help us get to school, pay the tuition. And then when my kids came to Gobles Junior Academy, I went and I worked for several of the doctors here. I cleaned house for Dr. Ekins, and I also cleaned house for the dentist,
Dr. Jenkins.
Dr. Dan Jenkins, and that helped me to get my kids through school here.
Now, it's interesting because back then we didn't have the PFE program. Nowadays, with the PFE program, making a pitch for it, children can come to our school if they're willing to partnership with a senior. Senior is anybody over 50. And you would go once a week to their house and work on some activity, read books, and we did gardening. You've seen different pictures and so forth. But that's something that's available now that was not available back then. Now, Jim, as I remember, your mom used to sell eggs, didn't she, to raise money for school. So parents used the initiative to raise money for schools a lot easier now than it was back then. Costs a lot more now than too. Huh? I missed that. Well, it's easier now to get money because of PFE versus the other. Okay, that's what I meant. Okay. Okay, what fun activities did you enjoy?
Recess.
Very common answer. When I ask kids in school, come in the office, what's the thing you like most about school? Recess and lunch. Okay.
Yeah, I remember my favorite things to do at recess was play with the younger kids because some of the words were kind of mean. And so I would go push the kids in the swings, or I played tetherball, because I was taller, so I could win. I like playing marbles, because we played marbles back then, and we collect them, because we play to win. I also played Foursquare and a bunch of other games that when we played together, it wasn't as much fun, because I was the big fat kid, and nobody liked me, and so, I was a little bit, and I was not outgoing like a lot of the kids were. I was kind of shy, and so that didn't help. So, but I tried to forget all those bad memories. But, we had good times at school, but I enjoyed having a Christian education.
Okay, now my last question is, what were the 3 ways you got to school?
Well, I remember when we were older in school, we rode bikes to school. We stopped by Bearsley's. We started at my mom and dad's, and my brother, my sister, and I. And we'd ride our bikes to Bearsley's, and we'd pick Bearsley's up, and they would ride with us. And then I believe
Jeannie
Redmond joined us, and then we rode all the way to Gobles. And we got to school, and then we had to ride all the way back home.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Then I remember at one point we had a school bus, and we rode on a school bus, and I remember, I don't know why I remember, but I remember going by and taking Joanna's bike up. It was near where I live now. But then the other way was Mom would take us to school.
Okay. All right. So I think a lot of you can relate to that. How many were on that bus? Okay. I don't see anybody else that was bus, but as I recall from my reading, that Betty Cashman used to drive the buses, from what I understand. Yeah.
Right. That was the
1940 building.
Yeah.
Right. They did not come in M40. They stayed on that back road because they lived on the back road. Judy, I got a bunch of questions for you. Okay? What years did you attend Gobles Junior Academy? You got to make your...
Like Edith, I'm not too sure of the year, but...
Is that on? What's that? I don't know.
I went here my first and second, and then 4th and 5th, and part of 7th, and then 10th grade.
Now, your folks did a lot of moving.
Right.
That's why she did not continuously go. They went to Mississippi and other areas, okay? Why did your parents move to Gobles?
Well, on my dad's...
Would you give me this minute?
On my dad's side, they moved here because of Christian education. And some of the younger kids went to, the younger kids, like my Aunt Joni, she went here, but my dad was too old. He was out of school by then. But my mom went here also. And we have the 4th generation in school today with Keegan. And my mom would have liked to have been here, but it's just too hard for her.
Can you hear Judy?
I feel like it's an ice cream cone, though.
It's an ice cream cone, but you can't lick it.
Oh, like this? Okay.
Okay.
And so my mom, they were living in Muskegon, and they weren't Adventists. Well, then a lady came and started leaving tracts for my grandma, and before you knew it, they were Adventists. And my grandpa had a farm in Bloomingdale, so they moved down there because they were in Muskegon because of the war. And so when they came down here, my grandma wanted my mom to have a Christian education, so she came here. And then because of my dad and mom, they got married, later on. And so that's how they came to.
Okay. What was the school building like?
Well,
boys and girls and.
as you came in the back door, there was 2 hallways. They were divided, and in the girls' hallway was the bathroom, and the boys' hallway had the boys' bathroom, and then it opened up into a wider hallway, and the floors were wood, and then our classroom, there was the first and second, third and fourth, and one upstairs, and then downstairs there was 5 and 6, and they had a divider, and then there was 7 and 8, and then upstairs was 9 and 10.
Okay. This is one that you volunteered. I talked to you yesterday. Okay. When did you first meet Herb?
Well, it started even before school, because they had baby showers for us together, except I wasn't born yet, and he was 3 months old. And then we were dedicated in church together, and then we were in first grade together, and then we got to be friends in first grade.
Now, the incident that we mentioned yesterday with you lost a tooth.
Yeah, I was missing a few teeth.
Was that in first grade yet?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you tell me about the pumpkin pie? Now, I asked the question, how did you get Herb in trouble?
Well, it was lunchtime, and our classroom was upstairs, and it had double doors, and then between the doors, there was 2 doors, and then between was the chalkboard. And our desk faced the chalkboards and the doors, and the teacher sat behind us. Well, at lunchtime, we were supposed to be quiet and just eat our lunch, and then when we were done, we'd go outside and play. Well, I knew that Herb loved pumpkin pie, and I had pumpkin pie for lunch, and I tapped him on the shoulder, and he turned around, and I squished pie between my teeth. And he started laughing, and the teacher told him, "Now, be quiet, Herbie, you be quiet." And so he turned around, and I waited a few minutes, and I tapped him again. And he turned around, and I squished more pie between my teeth. And he laughed harder, and the teacher really got after him, and she said, "You go stand in the corner." So he had to go in the corner, and he was up there, and then he turned to give me a kind of a dirty look, and I just squished more pie between my teeth. And so then when we were able to go outside and play, of course, he was chasing me, so we just had a lot of fun in school.
Good. Yeah. And then what fun memory did you have from the school? We talked about it. I kind of wrote a note down there.
Oh, what did I say? That. Okay. Well, when we were in our classrooms, they were pretty full. There was a lot of kids. And the teacher didn't have a helper. And so the older kids in the classroom, like the 4th graders, would help us, the first graders, and help us at the blackboard trying to write or work on our numbers or whatever. So that was nice.
Yeah. And I think that's still a tradition that, carries on in Gobles. The older kids helping the younger kids. I think that's a nice tradition. Okay, Luana. Yeah. Luana's family, so got a lot of history back here. So I had to kind of limit some. We spent a good afternoon with Luana last week. Okay, what years did you attend Gobles Junior Academy?
Okay, I attended from I left in 1954 to 1964, 10 years.
Okay, you told me 57?
Well, I'm old.
Okay. I can give you one of these.
These are things that I can remember.
You got to refresh for something. You told me 57.
Well, I don't think that's right.
Okay. Well, she attended for 2
I
years.
graduated in 1968, and I went there for 2 years. So what is that? 66? 66. I don't know. I'm not good on that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you attended many years here.
For all 10 years.
Yeah, she attended 10 years. Okay, I do remember that. I've seen pictures when you were younger. Okay. Why did you folks move to Gobles? No, okay, and the question I asked...
Yeah, because they
No.
already live there.
Right. The question I asked is, did your folks move to Gobles so you could attend school here? And the answer is no, because they already lived here.
Right.
Okay, but how did your folks feel about Christian education? How did your dad feel about it?
Well, my folks never argued when we were up. They waited till we went to sleep. And at the time, my room was above the living room, and the stovepipe went above, so I heard it. My dad said a public school he went to, and it was good enough for him. So if my mom wanted us to have a Christian education, she had to go to work. So she went to work.
Okay. So a lot of times you have that, and your families are kind of divided. Hey, public school is good for me, good for my kids. The mother or the father really wants Christian education, and they have to get a job and really kind of be forceful about it. And that happened in her case. Now tell me about the gum on your nose incident. I can tell you about the dot in the road and the yardstick when I was in school too.
I just read what you're going to ask me. All right. Okay. I was in 5th grade, so I had Mr. Moore. Yeah, Mr. Moore. And we were in the room downstairs. And you weren't supposed to chew gum in school. And I had seen the older boys chewing gum. And, of course, they got away with it. But, so I thought I could. But Mr. Moore caught me. Well, at the time, if he got caught chewing gum in school, you had to take it out of your mouth, stick it on your nose, and write a whole page about why you should not chew gum in school. Well, at the time, I liked using the college rule paper. So I just turned around and asked whoever was sitting behind me if I could use a piece of their paper because it was a white paper. And Mr. Moore called me and said, no, you can't do that. So I had to sit there with this gum on my nose. And do you know how hard it is to fill up a whole page, a college rule paper about why you should not chew gum in school? I think I must have said, because you will get caught numerous times.
Yeah. Luckily, that's not something that teachers do today. But I'll tell you, I went to public school, and I was in the back. We had 36 kids in our class, and I was not talking. But the teacher happened to look back and pick me up. So he had me come up to the front, and he put a dot on the blackboard, gave me a yardstick, and had me face the dot, and he says, if it moves, shoot it. And I was supposed to tell Mom, and I didn't tell Mom. If he wanted to talk to her, I knew she wouldn't come anyway. So I didn't say nothing, but my mom knew I was not acting right. My stomach was bothering me and so forth. So we talked about it, and she says, I'm not going to school. And teacher forgot about it and so forth. But that's sometimes things that you kind of go through. To this day, I do not like Mr. Marsh. That was his name, and that's been 60 years ago, 65 years ago. Okay. But again, teachers don't do that anymore today. Okay. I want you to tell me about Mr. Babbitt and the possum.
Well, you should have asked Edith this because she's the one that brought
I did last night.
She's the one that brought the dead possum to school. We had the 9th and 10th grade. I had Mr. Babbitt. He was this tall, skinny teacher, and we were always pulling tricks on him. He was a good teacher, though. If you could get him talking about the Navy, he would forget all about giving you a math test. So we had many conversations about what he did in the Navy. Well, we had biology after lunch, before lunch. I think it was before lunch, yes. Don't ever have biology before lunch. Well, anyway, we had it before lunch, and Edith had brought this dead possum. I think it was April Fool's Day or something. There was a reason I know the reason. Well, in our classroom, you had the blackboard on the wall that went into the hall. You had a blackboard, you had a door here, and a door there out into the hall. Well, so we decided we would put this dead possum because for some reason Mr. Babbitt left to do something. So we decided that would be a good time to put this dead possum on the floor right by the door, because the door opened out into the hall. So he would kind of trip when he came in over this dead possum, and we thought that was a good idea.
I had put it in a gunny sack, though, and it was...
But that possum was taken out of the gunny.
Yeah.
So that's what probably one of the boys did. So then after we decided which door he would come in, we put it right by the door so that anybody opening the door, walking in, would fall for it. I can still see him. He opened the door. He took one giant step right over that possum. And he acted like nothing had happened. And he said, "Oh, I see somebody brought something in for us to dissect it." And of course we thought, well, yuck. So he told one of the boys to take it outside.
Okay. Now, Edith had mentioned that you guys are doing dissecting in science class.
Yeah.
That was part of it. Yeah. And what fond memories? I charge your memory a little bit.
Oh, I have so many. Some good, some I will never tell. Let's put it this way. I was not always the best of nice little girl in school. So I tended to get in trouble sometimes. But I always remember the teachers, no matter what you did, when I look back, they were fair. Should I tell the one about the sandwich?
If you want to.
Okay. In our school, the one in town, we had a bunch of lilac trees. And we kids would like to sit under there for lunch. And I loved new meat sandwiches. And my brother hated new meat sandwiches. But my mother always made him two and me one. So one day I decided I was going to get his new meat sandwich because I knew he always threw it away. So I went out there. Sure enough, it was laying behind him. So I reached in and grabbed the sandwich, and as I'm pulling it out, he happened to see me. And he grabbed my hand, so I gave it a tug, and I scratched my arm all the way down. Well, since I could turn on the tears really easy, I started to cry, and I ran in, and I told my teacher my brother had scratched me because he took away my sandwich because I like new meat, and my mom always made me two. So she went next door and told Mr. whoever the principal was. I forget. Was it Moore? Maybe Mr. Moore. Yeah. And he went out and got hold of my brother and was really getting after him. And I would caution anybody, if you're going to tell a lie on somebody, make sure there's no witnesses around. Because unbeknownst to me, sitting next to my brother was his friend, and he had seen the whole thing. So after lunch, the teacher would read to us. And so we go in, we're sitting in our desks, and she grabs her book and she comes down the aisle and she puts something on my desk. She said, "You need to finish this." And here I saw this dirty half a piece of new meat sandwich. And I had to sit there while she's reading the story. Everybody in class looking at me, and I had to eat half a sandwich. And so from there I learned I never told a lie again.
It's a valuable lesson, but not a good way to learn it. Okay. And one other thing you had mentioned is that you always thought the teachers always were doing something with the kids. They had good supervision.
Well, when my kids were in school, I worked on the playground. And on the public school playgrounds, the teachers just kind of open the door and let them loose. And there's 3 supervisors out there to watch hundreds of kids. But I remember our teachers, they would always went outside with you. They would even sometimes tell you what game you were going to play before you went out. Or they were, I remember Mrs. Fay, we'd go over to her house and she would make sloppy joes. But she would put everything that was left over from the refrigerator in her sloppy joes. So you might find green beans or corn or whatever. But the teachers were, even though you did something wrong, they were always nice. And they always seemed to look at both sides of the story. And they didn't take just one word for it. And, you don't think about it till you look back. When you're going to school, in those grades, and you go to a small school, you don't know how lucky you have it. Because I went from a small 10th grade school to a public school. And all of a sudden you're thrown in with hundreds of kids. You have to go to 7 different teachers. And then you realize that school was really the best school.
I'd like to thank you 3 ladies for coming and sharing. At this time, we're going to transition into our musical program. It's not a long program. And I've given sheets to those that are going to go, so I'm not going to announce them. We'll start out with Lori and Brad.
had to say something funny for just a moment. I don't know if this is going. This goes along with Mrs. Coffey's children's story today. Several hours ago, because of allergies, one of my contacts came out. And so Denise has been seeing me make funny faces this afternoon. And so if you heard me linger on one of the notes, that was why today I'm playing with one eye. So went along with the children's story.
Temptations, is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Can we find a friend so faithful who will our sorrows share? Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer.
Well, I didn't go to Gobles Junior Academy, but I love the place, and my wife attended there, so it's turned out a lot of great stuff. In the dark of the midnight, I have oft hid my face, while the storms howl above me, and there's no hiding place. Mid the crash of the thunder, precious Lord, hear my cry, keep me safe till the storm passes by. Till the storm passes over, till the thunder sounds no more, till the clouds roll forever from the sky. Hold me fast, let me stand in the hollow of thy hand. Keep me safe till the storm passes by. Many times Satan tells me there is no need to try, for there's no end of sorrow, there's no hope by and by. But I know thou art with me, and tomorrow I'll rise where the storms never darken the sky, till the storm passes over, till the thunder sounds no more, till the clouds roll forever from the sky. Hold me fast, let me stand in the hollow of thy hand. Keep me safe till the storm passes by. When the long night has ended and the storms come no more, let me stand in thy presence on that peaceful shore, in that land where the tempest never comes. Lord, may I dwell with thee when the storm passes by. When the storm passes over, till the thunder sounds no more, till the clouds roll forever from the sky. Hold me fast, let me stand in the hollow of thy hand. Keep me safe till the storm passes by. Keep me safe till the storm passes by.
You know, I hate to sing after that. It's a bad deal. And one thing I went to Gobles Junior Academy for 10 years, from 49 to 59. And then I went to Cedar Lake for 2 years. And, sitting here today, listening to these gals talk, and they're all three ladies, and they was all bad. And we had no guys had none of this bad stuff. So, anyways, I'm going to sing Great Is Thy Faithfulness. This Lord we've got, the greatest thing, and how faithful is He? And you know what? Time is short, and very short. And, my family's all gone now. 3 of them. And Mom and Dad, you know. And Dad said, the Lord's going to come when I'm alive. He's been gone 24 years. So hang in there. Jesus will come. So great is thy faithfulness. When I get to the last chorus, you guys come on in with me. Page 100. Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions, they fall not. As thou hast been, thou ever wilt be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, join with all nature is manifold witness to thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, mercies I see. All I have need, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Pardon for sin and a peace that endureth, thy own dear presence to cheer and to guide, strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow. Blessings all mine with 10,000 beside. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have need, that hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Praise God for so many blessings.
microphone might be on, that each one can hear. But God has been so good to me. And I remember when we moved to Gobles. And I was in school there, of course. I was a fifth grader. And I hadn't thought much about it. Mother said, now just behave, be good. And she gave all kinds of wonderful advice. And I tried all that, except there was one flaw. And I have to tell you what that flaw was. It was the boy that sat behind me. That was the flaw. And I'm telling you, it wasn't very long. And I could feel something just jabbing on my ribcage. And I wondered what that was. And I turned around and gave him a dirty look, I thought maybe he might stop with that. But no, sirree, he still had his pencil sharpened to a fine tooth, and he jabbed me right there. Oh, and finally I said to myself, I gave him another dirty look, even dirtier if I could. And that right at recess time, I mentioned it to one of the girls, and I went out, Oh, she said, that's the teacher's boy. I said, can't be. I said, I had words to tell to the teacher, but I can't tell them when it's her boy. And I thought, oh my, what will I do? So, of course, when I went home, I talked it all over with my mother. She was a good advisor. Now, don't let these things bother you and get you down, and all kind. You have to be a Christian no matter where we're at, even if we're in the fifth grade. And the teacher's boy is jabbing you in the back. But anyway, and she said, I'll tell you what the best thing is you could do. You pray about it, and God will fix it up. Okay? So I took her advice, and I certainly prayed about it. And before very long, we were nice friends. And I want to tell you that the teacher's boy was no dunce at all. He made top grades. And I watched when he went to academy, top grades. And college, topper. And pretty soon, he was out, in the West. And he was becoming a doctor out there. And so he went as a missionary. And I thought, oh, I'm glad I never talked bad to him. Here he is, missionary in Africa. And he's a doctor, no less. And so God worked it out. I just am here to say that God does wonderful things for each one of us. I'm just trying to remember. I was in fifth grade, and my guardian, I should use this, my guardian was a teacher for the grades 1 to 4 there at the same time, Miss Francisco. So she taught the younger ones, and I went on up and through, and I was looking over, in the ads building to see where in the world I might have fit in, but I guess I didn't quite catch which one, but I know it was 5th grade and 6th and 7th and 8th and 9 and 10th, and then I went to Delphia to finish up there. Yes, I think it was the 40s.
Miss Francisco was here 51 to 55.
About 55. Okay, all right. Well, I think that's a good answer.
Does everybody have one of these with the words on it? If you go to the back of our bulletin, got the words to our GGA theme song written back when, I don't know when, but it's been around. When we get to here's to you, our GJA, you guys know that that's usually a loud part. So sing loudly, don't get your voice hoarse, but, make a joyful noise. And I'm going to sing that strongly so people know that we're supporting our school. Oh, he's got some words. All right, so if you raise your hand if you need one of those to make sure everyone has the lyrics, because I don't expect you to have them memorized.
Schools are larger, far fairer too. Maybe they are. Still, we think you're on a par. School at Gobles. Here's to you, RDJA. Our regard we sing today. Dreary hours we're away from you at Gobles. All you taught we will revere. Sing your praises far and near. And your memory hold dear, school at Gobles. For what we may need to know until we shall older grow, there's no need for us to go away from Gobles. We like it better every day, so we're satisfied to stay. No one wants to go away far from Gobles. Here's to you, RDJA. Our regard we sing today. Dreary hours when we're away from you at Gobles. All you've taught we will revere. Sing your praises far and near. And your memory hold dear. School at Gobles. We do not know what we would do if it had not been for you. So we promise to be true to you at Gobles. When at last we leave your door and we come to you no more, go upon a foreign shore, we'll think of Gobles. Here's to you. Our regard we sing today. Dreary hours when we're away from you at Gobles. All you've taught we will revere. Sing your praises far and near. And your memory hold dear. School at Gobles.
Well, we'd like to thank you for sharing this weekend with us. And I'd like to take a poll here. we do reunions. We don't do it like Academy to do it every year. We're kind of small for that. The next natural one would be like in 5 years, and definitely 1 in 10 years. What's your preference? Because that'll help, planning either 5 years or 10 years. How many would like to see a gathering in 5 years? Okay. How about those in 10 years? Okay. I think the 5 years has it over. What happens is in 5 years, 10 years, some that would be here 5 years are not going to be here. And hopefully all of us will not be here because the Lord has come. And one other announcement. Years ago, for the 50th, we produced a Goals and Reflections, Gobles Junior Academy, years 34 to 35. Derek is in the process of downloading this digital stuff. It's available because not many of the originals are around anymore. It's not quite set up yet, but these will be available online if you're interested looking at the history of Gobles for the first 50 years. And hopefully for the 100th, there'll be another book. Like I said, hopefully the Lord will be back before that. We wouldn't have to do that, but just in case, we need to go ahead and plan. Let's bow for a word of prayer. Dear Father in heaven, we're thankful for your blessings this weekend, where we reflect upon your goodness to the people of Gobles and Gobles Junior Academy. We're thankful that we've been able to provide continuous Christian education to the different students, and many have gone on to do your work in different fields. We ask you to be with each one today as they travel to their homes and destinations. We ask for safety. We pray for this in your name. Amen.